All right, we are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to DC Fine Art. Today, we're going to be starting a new color pencil piece, and I decided to pick oranges. And there was this really cute picture on Pixabay, so I figured, you know what, it ought to be a good one for you guys, especially with color pencil. And I actually done a little something a little different. I added it to my screen now. So for some reason, I restarted my computer, and after restarting it, I'm able to get into there and actually add the reference photo on the screen while we're working. So you can kind of see too how I'm working and what I'm looking at based off that picture. Now, if you guys are wanting the bigger picture for yourself to go ahead and get it drawn out, then you can find that on Pixabay in the description below. I do have it linked in there for you guys. So it'd be easy just to click on it and be able to get that done for today if you guys wanted to follow along. And as far as new things, usually this is just a live chat where I'm working our artwork, and while I'm working with a certain medium, maybe you guys can ask me questions, or maybe you're doing your own artwork and you just want to go ahead and do your artwork and chat along with me. Or if there's anything that maybe you're wanting to ask me, maybe not just on color pencil, but maybe on something else, then you can ask away. So definitely a good time for that. Now, for my Patreons, like I said, this week I'm going to end up getting the oil pastel rose done for you guys. So that way you guys can see that one. It'll be in the oil pastels. And that one there, like I said, I didn't work with any odorless mineral spirits with it. I just worked straight with oil pastels. It looks like Whiskey's going to be joining us, my little puppy. But for the next thing that I'll be working on with you guys, I'm kind of excited to show you for Patreons, is a acrylic piece, and it is actually going to be kind of like a St. Patrick's themed. So it took me all day yesterday and today getting it drawn out, and I'm still not done with it. But I do have it finally traced out all together on one sheet of tracing paper, because I had to retrace and redraw and then draw some more flowers in there and then layer it on top. It was just a whole thing to where I could get it just the way I want it, because I'm just like that. I mean, seriously, it took a little while, but I wanted to show you guys that before we start. Just for my Patreons, I know you guys are probably excited to see it. Now, if you haven't joined Patreon and if you're interested in it, just to have the videos, I got it down to $1.99 to join, just to get the base for getting all the videos. If you're wanting anything else other than the videos, like reference photos, sometimes I put reference photos. Now I'm doing coloring sheets. Then and then you get a gift each month. Then those are on the other tiers. So just if you guys are interested, $1.99. So let's go ahead and flip this around so I can show you guys what we're going to be working on Patreon before I start the oranges. So, oh, and also at the beginning, I remembered, please click the like, subscribe if you haven't already, and leave a comment or share. Any of those things definitely helps the channel grow, and I definitely need to say that in the beginning. I keep on forgetting. So just in case if you guys forget, click like, it definitely helps. Live work. Okay, so look at this. Hopefully it's probably not too big. It's gonna be done on an oval canvas, and I got it all drawn out. I don't have it all completely drawn out. I'm actually gonna draw in, and I don't want to draw on my canvas. That's why I draw either on my tracing paper. Sometimes I draw on that, or on a separate sheet of paper, then trace it off, then put it on there. But sometimes I just find it easier just to go ahead and draw on the actual tracing paper. And believe me, there's more than just this. This looks pretty clean. You're probably looking at, where's the eraser marks? It's all on all the other sheets. Yeah, this is the clean one that I actually transferred. So yeah, it's going to have little clovers. I decided to do little clovers. and then clover flowers, little moth, and then put like my mushrooms, and even put in some acorns and a little horseshoe I drew in there. But oh, and a little ladybug. Yeah. So, I mean, I seriously drew all this in. If you guys, I thought this was really cute because I was like, oh, it's so tiny. It's just so cute. I like holding him. But like, I'll draw up like a little ladybug. See, this is another sheet of little tracing paper. I just went ahead and drew him up, and then whenever I'm adding him, I can kind of see, well, actually I drew another one. I can kind of see where I want him or if I want him somewhere, and I'm able to actually place him where I want him, where it looks good. And I go underneath, and then I just draw them on this. But there's still more to get done before I do it. And before I actually started drawing, if you guys were, wondering about this, this is kind of a bonus. See, like this right here, I drew in my oval canvas, and I just hand drew this. I drew in my little moth where I want my little ladybug. And then I put another ladybug there, but then I decided not to do it because I know I'd have two ladybugs too close to each other. I just drew in my horseshoe, my little acorns, just to kind of get an idea of what I was wanting. So it's actually going to have green and white stripes in the background, and it's going to be faded. It's going to be really cool. This is going to be a really cool piece. But that's how I come up with ideas, is sometimes you just have to jot them down. And yeah, I jot them down on just a shopping list. I know. I just took out a piece of paper. It happens to be a shopping list. And so I would just say St. Patrick's idea, and I just put down all these different things that I was just looking at, different reference photos that I would be interested in drawing. And that's how I came up with something that looked like this. So pretty cool. But yeah, that will be for Patreons, and it'll be an acrylic painting lesson. So it'll probably have more than like part 1, part 2, probably be sectioned off to make it a little bit more easier. All right. Now you guys can also see the oranges that we're going to be working with. Oh, hey. Hey, how are you? Let's see here. I got a screen on here. Let's close that. I can see you. How are you doing today? You trying to stay warm? It's like cold outside. Super cold. I hope that my daughter doesn't have school, so I don't have to wake up early. Well, I still have to wake up early, but not as early. I get a 30-minute little bit sleep in time, basically. It's only like 30 minutes. Yeah. I was just seeing how your weather was. If you were cold. What's a good brand for gouache? The gouache that I got to try out was really nice. But then again, I also tried these. I had these already because I just got white and black. And then one of my friends gave me the Holbein Artist gouache. But then I also had the Caran d'Ache gouache. That sounds funny, doesn't it? What's this? Yeah, these are both Caran d'Ache gouaches, white and black. And I mean, so far these weren't too bad. Now I do know that there was some studio grade one that I did use that was given to me. And really, I mean, they weren't too bad neither. I forgot what they were. They weren't too bad either, but I think they just through time they may end up getting a little bit hard, and you just got to add water to them in order for it to loosen up. But I know that the Holbein was really nice, and the Caran d'Ache ones were great. So either one's of those, and I would just basically personally, if it was me, since I really do like certain brands, I really do like the things that they make. If you have a certain brand, that you really, really like and they do really, really well for you, maybe try out that brand of like their gouache if they have it. Like Caran d'Ache usually is really good. Um, Holbein, I know there's issues sometimes with their light fast stuff, and I don't know if they got that fixed or not. I have no clue. But here we are starting out with our oranges. As you can see, the white really shows up on the camera a whole lot. It looks, I mean, it's a brown paper, but it's not like walnut brown like this. For some reason, I tried the lighting on this. I tried every lighting I possibly could on this to get it to show its true color. It's not like a walnut brown, but it's more like a burnt umber kind of brown, not like a raw umber kind of brown. So the camera is a little off on the color of this paper, and I have tried for the life of me to get it to show up a little better, more true to its color. I went ahead and used a white transfer paper to go ahead and transfer out the oranges onto my paper. The paper that I'm using is the Canson Me Tints pastel paper, and I'm using the back side because the back side is the smooth side and I don't really want the rough side of it. I mean, it's not too rough, but it's just got that little bit of, there's that grain. See, that's more rough side. And then the smooth side is a lot more flatter. See? So I usually use that. And I like using this paper because it seems like I can work a little bit more quicker with color pencil on it. So that's why I like to use it. But we are going to start getting our pencils out. I'm going to work this from the beginning so you guys can see how I choose my colors. And this is why it takes a little bit longer on some of these videos, is because I like to start them from scratch. I hope I got my oranges on here. I gotta get my reference photo over here. No, it's okay. I can get it. Let's go to... I hope I'm still logged in. And I am. Okay, let me get this. Thought I had it already on there, and I thought I was just gonna pull it up, and nope. Of course not. That would just be too convenient. My oranges. I did have them up there. I just maybe I didn't save them. Still save image. No, I definitely have it on there. Okay, and I do have my odorless mineral spirits for blending. So I do use that with my color pencils. Now, do I have to use it all the time? No. I just like using them on bigger areas so that way I can get a lot more coverage a lot quicker. I have no clue why he's barking. Okay, let's see here. Let's move the comment section where I can see you guys. Okay, there we go. Okay, I'm still new to buying paint and don't want to waste money, so that's why I ask. Okay. Because there are things that are there that people are like, don't even. Okay. Yeah, I can completely understand that. I mean, for me, I just went ahead and played it safe, and I don't do a whole lot of gouache paintings, but I have used them. And I don't know, I just always, I mean, I've always leaned toward like Caran d'Ache to make sure it's safe. I mean, they're probably more pricier, but if you just get like a small set, you know, and just work your way on up, and just do it that way. Or yeah, I don't know what other brands I would try in gouache. I don't really do a whole lot of gouache. Just little bits. All right, so let's go ahead and choose our colors. So here's another thing, just in case you guys don't know and you guys are new to color pencil. If anybody's new to color pencil, sometimes you may wonder why there's so many different brands of color pencils, and you see people use like different ones for certain things, and maybe you just don't understand why. You think maybe a color pencil is a color pencil. Well, I can't imagine. Okay. Sorry, I had to check on my daughter. Get the small, mix your own colors, right? Yes, and it definitely helps with mixing colors too. Actually, whenever I go back to mixing colors, it's actually a whole lot of fun because you're coming up with some colors that are just not normal to like the colors that you would buy. Like you come up with mixing your own colors and it just seems, I don't know, they just seem a whole lot better, like mixing your own colors anyway. I tend to have a lot of fun doing that. So, and that's especially whenever I'm doing those palatable pack boxes and they only give me a certain amount of colors and I'm having to force myself to go ahead and mix my own colors and not be lazy and just pick up a color already there mixed. And it actually it ends up being a whole lot more funner, you know? So, back to the color pencils, you guys. Uh, the polychromos pencils are a harder type of lead. They say they're oil-based lead or an oil-based core. I always say lead. I don't know. I just have a habit of saying it. But they're an oil-based core is what they say. In all reality, it's a mixture between oils and wax. So they just may have a little bit more of the oil in there than they do have the wax, but all color pencils have an oil and wax based mixture. So it all just depends on how much percentage they have in it. Having a oil based pencil like the polychromos, it ends up being a harder lead. So if you're looking to get fine details sharpened to a super sharp point without it breaking all the time, those are really good color pencils to use to be able to get your details if you want to do that. You can also use them just using polychromos on everything. That can still work. If you're blending, you might want to work make sure you put a lot more pigment down on the paper and work in smaller circles if you're wanting a more smoother transition. So it just might take a little bit longer, but you can still get this same kind of thing if you were working with a more softer lead pencil. It just takes a little bit longer. So like I like using those for a lot of my details. Sometimes it's just because the colors, they have so many colors in there that I need. The light fast colors or the light fast pencils from the Derwent light fast color pencils here. These here are a super soft, I mean they're nice and soft pencils. This here you don't have to color in just a little tiny circle and work really small. These you can actually just color in as long as you're adding enough pigment to the paper. These blend like butter with the odorless mineral spirits. So these are super nice for large coloring areas. Like if I wanted to do a bigger chunk of orange or maybe some darker shadows, there are a lot more of that color in there. It would take me forever with polychromos, while I can go in there with my Derwent Lightfast and do some of the darker colors, and it'll be able to cover a lot more, a whole lot quicker. So that's why I like using these. And if you were to sharpen them to a sharp point to try and get finer details, they may end up breaking on you because it is a softer core pencil. Now, the Caran d'Ache Luminance pencils happen to be one of my favorite of the color pencils. And the reason why I would use these is because it's a mixture of both. They are not necessarily really hard, like or at least hard like the polychromos, but they're not as soft as the Derwent Lightfast. They are an in-between. They are right there in the middle. So I can still sharpen these pretty sharp. I can still get some details. So probably not as sharp as the polychromos, but I can still get them pretty sharp to get me some details in there. And they're soft enough to where I can still blend them really easily without it having to go in with really small circles, just as long as you put enough pigment down. But these work amazing. Like they're my in-between pencil. Like you can go either way with these. These are awesome. So I absolutely love the Derwent Lightfast pencils. Let's see here. Yeah, and about a 36 color. These are acrylic gouache, and I don't like it. No. Yeah. I've heard of people doing the base in soft core detail and hardcore because the soft core can be put down faster. Yes. Perfect middle ground. Cool. Yep. These right here can go either way. I do love them. So, and I'm going to have to choose my colors. So I definitely want to go ahead and we're going to work on the oranges first. I mean, we can really do anything we wanted here, but I like to do the oranges first and get that orange in there before I do the green leaves and then the shadows. So what I like to do is, since I cut this paper down, I cut it down from, it was a 12 by 16. I cut it down to basically it's a little bigger than an 8 by 10. So that way it could fit into a matting. And the rest of the paper, do not throw them away. If you guys cut down your paper and you're working with color pencil or even another medium, keep the sheet of that same paper. I can't even grab it. And this here can be where you put down your color pencil colors. So like, and you can definitely see what it's going to look like on this brown paper. So like if I'm working with oranges, I'm blind as a bat. Maybe I have to turn on my big spotlight up there. These are a lot of yellows. Let me get out the other tray. Let me get an orange. Just because. Yep, just have the whole thing here. Oh, where's my tray? Oh. You know, you would think I would be a little bit more organized, but I'm not. Okay, that works. Okay. I don't know if I'll be able to see that. Let's get up. That's a okay. Maybe. I pulled out the softest thing. Ooh. Hold on. Watch it be dull. I'm just trying to get a white pencil so that way you guys can see. Of course it's not sharpened, you know. That would be just too convenient. Okay. So like this one here, which with my bad eyes, I even got new contacts. It just says orange. That's great. So let's just say out of my Caran d'Ache, I'll put CD, and then I'll put down orange. You can put down the color orange, or you can just put down 030 is the number. And sometimes I just do that because it's a lot easier for me. But if you guys like to do the color and just write down the color, you could do that. And then that way I can do my little color chart on here. And that way I can see what the color is going to look like on the actual paper that I'm using. And that makes it a whole lot better. I can already tell you this white shows up really nice. Orange shows up nice. And we're just going to go ahead and look at a reference photo and just kind of get those colors that we can kind of see in there. Also, if you're wanting to add maybe some purples to it, you could do that. Purple is a really good shadow for oranges. Here's another one. Get some of these orangey colors in there. You may want to add some yellows, which I probably put that back, didn't I? Got a lot of really bright yellows here, but I don't know if I'm seeing. Let's just try this one or this one. They're not too bright. I don't want them too bright or yellow to make our oranges lighter. But here's two more. What is this? This is... Can't even read it. Cornelium? I don't know. 850. Yeah. So we got more of a, that's a nice color orange. It's like more of a darker orange. Dark cadmium orange. I would think it says hue, but it doesn't. It says something else that I can't read. MT, I don't know. That's why I'm so happy that they put these numbers on the pencils, because just in case you can't read the pencil itself, at least you know that whenever you run out of pencil and you need to reorder, they do have them listed for reordering off of that number itself. So you can actually find that color pretty easily. So that one's a little bit brighter. So basically we have brightest, mid-tone, dark on the orange colors. And if we wanted to add some yellow to it, which one's darker? I don't know. Probably don't even matter. Medium cadmium yellow. 520. Let's try it. See what it looks like. Compared to if I wanted to add a yellow of 810. Now, if you're one of those people that just don't like doing this, then you don't have to. You can just throw in your colors or wherever you choose and then just go from there. If you don't like it, then just stop using it. There's quite a few people that do that too. I just happen to be one of those type of people that love to do like writing down my colors. Plus that, if I'm doing like Patreon and I'm wanting to tell you guys and show you guys what exact colors I used for my color pencil pieces, well, here's an easy way for me to be able to do that. I'll be able to pick up these colors and then I usually set them to one side and I'm able to tell you exactly what colors I used in the piece just based off of the pencils that I set to the side or the numbers that I used it out of these. I did, used them. So, let me go ahead and grab, I do like those. It looks like I'm going to have to go a little bit darker in there. You could even add some browns if you wanted to. Browns or a rusty brown kind of helps too. I think we got some in here. Let's try these two. This is 044, which is terracotta, I think. That's a nice one. And then we have this one here, which is burnt ochre. Let's see what it is. 077. Okay, something is moving. I'm hearing something move. Okay, so we got some transitioning here. These are kind of nice. And if I want to add a little bit of a shadow, like a gray tone to it, I could do that. I'm mostly using the Caran d'Ache on these. A sepia, French gray, any kind of warm tone. Would not use any grays that have the cold gray or a slate gray. I wouldn't use those. But a French gray would be fine, or even a sepia. Where's my sepia? Right here? I like sepia. Let's throw that one in. And let's throw in the two grays. All right, so let's do this and then we can start on our orange. 906. This is my sepia. I love sepia. $8.08. These are the French grays. Definitely want grays that have more of a warm tone to it, or a warm gray. You just don't want to go with the other one because that's more what you use for like, the cold grays are more for like silver. You know, if you're creating something shiny and it's cold, then use those. But if you're creating like an animal, fruits, anything, I guess living, if it's living, then I would use your French grays or warm grays. If it's not living and it's something shiny, metal, glass, anything like that, then I would use your cold grays. All right, so we got some good tones here. If I need to do anything else or grab like a purple, then I'll do that. And all of these that I just pulled out are Caradosh. So, all right, where's my glove? I usually put on this glove so that way I can protect the paper from any oils of the skin. Let's start out with this one little guy over here. Now that white pencil really shows up on camera. Like I said, it is actually not that bright. It actually is a lot, it's really dull. So I don't really have to, erase it. It's not really going to be an issue with it being white. Okay, so where's my light? I think it goes light, dark. Okay, let's put my dark to the side. I'm going to work with my light oranges and I'm not really going to hone in on any of the really, really light, like highlighted top of the orange just yet. I may have to put a little bit of white down first anyway from a pencil, which I forgot to get. You know, usually I get my white out and I didn't do it. Let's take some of this mid-tone. We're getting a little closer to that leaf. There's like this shadow that kind of comes down through here. So, and my orange is going to be not exactly like theirs because I'm not choosing all of the colors to a T, just like their orange. I'm actually choosing mine a little bit differently. There's some people that like to choose their colors, try and get it as close as they can so that way they can mimic the picture exactly or identically with the colors that in the reference photo. And they do it sometimes on a computer, and you can do a color match, I guess, on the computer, which I have not really been too interested in doing something like that, just because it just feels so much better kind of doing it like your own, like choosing your own colors to be able to create an orange or whatever the reference photo is and just kind of make it your own. You can do something that's close. Like me, I like doing stuff that's close, but not identical. See, this is a little bit of a darker shadow in there. I'm just going to go ahead and add in this lighter tone. I'm not pressing down really hard neither, because I definitely don't want to wear out the paper here to where I can't add another layer. Okay, this is going to end up being darker anyway. Now see, I went over that yellow or that lighter orange, and now I'm going over it with this medium mid-tone kind of orange. And that just tones it down just a little bit. It makes it to where it's not as dark as this orange, but a little bit lighter, kind of like an in-between. I love mixing. Maybe that's the reason why. I like mixing colors. It's just so much fun. All right. So we got some of those in there. Let me grab out this darker of the orange. Let's just, you know, have you ever done that and you thought it was a darker color and then you picked it up and it actually ended up being lighter? You know, that could happen to me. But that's okay. And if you guys end up making a mistake and you're just like, oh my God, it's the wrong color, don't worry about it. Just go over it with something either lighter or darker to try and adjust that color when needed. But I would not worry too much. I really want to use this, but I'm going to go over it. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and go over it with all of this. It almost goes completely dark. It actually does go completely dark. That's fine. All right. I want my sepia. I like my sepia. I'm going to stick that in there. You can kind of see too that it's not too dark. Especially when you already had that orange already in there. I'm really hoping that I have another sepia. Hope this ain't my last one. I'm going to kind of go up into this orange just a little bit. There's a little bit of a shadow in there. I'm use my sepia. Throw some of that color in there. Sepia is getting kind of short though, as you can tell. I like using it. Okay. Gotta get that orange kind of shaded right around in here. Okay. Now if you're wanting to make it a little bit darker, I may have to go with a darker, hold on. This is where I like to use this color, and you know what, it'll come in handy. Let's see, Derwent Light Fast, and I said I'd like to use a little bit of the purplish tones because I just love the purple tones. Let's see here. I need Nightshade. Nightshade in the Derwent Light Fast is super, super nice. Indigo. No, I don't want that one. I don't want Nightshade. Nightshade is more of a blue tone, like a dark, dark blue. But I am wanting Nightshade. Maybe it's in my other drawer. I always know it's a small one. This says Midnight Black. Is this it? Blue Violet. Maybe I had to stick a new one in there. Maybe I ran out. Nice Black. Good gosh. When I thought I was ready, I thought I was ready. And then life threw me a curveball. Then I do not see. Oops. My Nightshade. Oh wait. I'm just blind. Yeah, that's Nightshade. All right. I appreciate that we can go to that to the art supply store and buy replacements for the colors we lack without buying the whole case over again. Absolutely. Oh my goodness. If that happened to where you couldn't, I don't know. I don't know. I would be like, I'm sorry. I guess I'm just like using Prismacolor. It's the only thing you can get at Walmart. You know, that's probably the only thing I could do. I mean, you couldn't. I don't know. Yeah. I wish money grew on trees because then it would be so much easier, but money doesn't grow on trees, and I absolutely understand that. That would be a nightmare. So I'm adding some of this nightshade in there just to kind of get it a little bit darker in these areas where it needs to be darker instead of going to black. So try and choose things, then trying to darken it and go straight to black. You can always choose nightshade. Nightshade's a good color. It's nice and dark, and when you blend it out with odorless mineral spirits, it goes good with orange. Okay. So that looks pretty good. All right. And yeah, I mean, if you needed nightshade, you could easily just go online and just order the pencil nightshade. You know, you don't have to, yeah, you don't have to go in there and buy the whole set. Now, whenever I was ordering my pencils, was working, like I said, over the road, and it was like doing really good and making good money. So whenever I was working doing that, I went ahead and stocked up. And I was like saving my money. I went ahead and bam, got me a full set. And then I worked real hard, bam, got me the other full set. Because I knew that once I got the full set, that all I would need to do is just replace the one single pencil. And so I just started doing that with everything. I was like, okay, I don't know what I am. I don't know what I call myself. Not only am I a person, I'm a person who likes to stock up on things to where I don't have to buy them for a really long time. Like I could go without having to buy anything. Like if I mean, except for the normal stuff like food and like normal little things that you have to get. But other than that, it's like stock up. I don't know. I guess in worst case scenarios, if something were to happen, it's like I got stuff. I'm good. I'm good. The only thing as long as the toilet paper don't go out, I'm not in stock with that kind of stuff. But jeez, I remember that too. Let's go ahead and get my white. Now I have this one. I don't want my polychromos white. I would rather have. And that's another thing too. If you guys do not have the Derwent Light Fast white, or the Derwent, no, sorry, the Derwent Drawing Chinese white, this one right here. This one's a good one to also order. If you just don't have that set, just order the pencil itself. That one is a good one. This one here, since it is a softer lead, it's actually our core. This one here is actually softer than the Derwent Light Fast. Like, it is super soft. It's a much thicker core than the Derwent Light Fast, but it's like completely blends out like butter. I mean, it's super nice. And if you're wanting to add white on top of something and your color pencils are usually not really working too well with your white to be able to get it to highlight, this one here works amazing. There we go. So it's the Derwent Drawing Chinese White. That is a have to pencil. Like you have, I don't know. Like for me, it's a have to pencil. I guess not everybody is probably a have to. But for me, it is. Okay, I gotta watch out. There's some green right around that. I don't know, but on the, just to let you guys know too, I kind of noticed it. But on, see like this pencil here, it's not really coming out very good on the spots. So I may have to use the Derwent Drawing. But on this picture here, it was on Pixabay. And it just looks like, The green leaves just look really, really green. It almost looks artificial green. Which I don't know if they just enhanced it a little bit before, you know, sending it over to Pixabay. Even I'm guilty for that. And I've taken pictures and enhanced them just a little bit to make them, you know, look a certain way, just a little bit better on Pixabay. Wasn't really much though. I didn't really make the green. Well, I did make the greens look really, really green. And because otherwise if it didn't, it just looked kind of bland. Oh, I want that to be light. So we're going to put in, where's the yellow? Which yellow do I want? I want 520. Not, that's 810. Throw that one off to the side. 520. Just want to stick that in there. On top of my white. Let me grab my Derwent Chinese white. We're adding a little bit in there. Let's take some of my orange because I don't want it too yellow. I still want it to have that orange look. Just want it a little bit brighter. Okay. Yeah, maybe we end up having to go ahead and it's just really, really green. Yeah. I mean, I noticed it. I was like looking at it, I was like, it can't be real, but it could be real, but somebody just boosted the green for enhancement. I've done that to my daisy. I did a daisy. And I put it on Pixabay, you know, to put my own little photo out there for anybody to use for free too. And so when I put the daisy out there, I'll like enhance the green in it, and it was really enhanced. It was very pretty though. But if you're wanting to do your paintings, then you might want to not use the exact same colors that they did, because otherwise you're going to get something that looks really artificial. And we don't want it to look artificial. Artificial leaves. I'm just kind of blending these colors out here with the odorless mineral spirits. Wanting these colors to kind of blend in with each other just a little bit. I love this paper. This paper just blends so easily. Oops, missed my paper towel. Now here's where we got to be a little bit careful when blending, because this nightshade, or at least the Derwent Light Fast colors, are very blendable, like I said, like butter. So you don't want to go too crazy with blending, because you might end up putting a darker color a little further away from where you wanted it. This looks a little bit yellow, a little bit too yellow on top. We're going to have to go over it again with another layer. So definitely don't think that that is going to be it. It is definitely not. And you're always going to get an ugly stage before you get a nice, your finished stage. So it's always going to have like that ugly stage. So now I'm going to have to let that dry before we can actually work on it. I've got a lot of oranges out. So we're going to go on to the next orange and try and get that one done. While I'm doing that, this one will dry and we'll go back to it. So I'm going to use the same colors that I did here. We're actually going to go, yeah, that's my darker orange. We'll go from the bottom. What is this? Not for sure what I was drawing when I drew that. Oh, duh. I know what that is. That's a shadow. Like, I just drew something in there and was like, what did I draw that for? Okay. My darker orange going to my mid-tone. And I want to take this color and go from that darker orange. I'm going to kind of overlap it a little bit and then kind of bring it up. That way, whenever I blend it, I have a little bit of a transition there. It'll look better. Okay, and then we're going to end up going lighter. I think right in here is still a little bit darker. Yeah. Let's go with my lighter orange. I'm going to take that in there. There is a lot of light, like white, reflecting it on these oranges. It's almost like they were shining the light down really bright on top of these oranges. They're very waxy looking. Let's see if we can't add some of this yellow back in. So how many layers can you do if using odorless mineral spirits? It all just depends. It depends on your paper. Like, some papers can take more layers than others. When you use odorless mineral spirits, the first layer you're going to use a lot more odorless mineral spirits. When you dip it, you dip your brush in, you dry it off a little bit, and then use it. It's still really wet, and you can tell when you put it on the paper, it's pretty wet. On your second time, you're going to blend with your odorless mineral spirits. You'll take either the brush and just kind of you'll really scrub your brush on your towel, really trying to dry it off a little bit more, and then use it to blend. And then the next layer that you get, it's even less. Basically, you'll just pull up your brush and whatever you'd used it on, even if it was like 10 or 15 minutes ago, your brush is still kind of slightly damp and you can just go over it then. If you use too much odorless mineral spirits, it can actually eat through your layers and go to the bottom of your paper. And if that happens when you add so many layers to it, then it's really hard to fill a hole in your paper. I have blended on this paper here. I can probably get like 3 times. I could probably blend it up to maybe 3 times, maybe 4, but it's pushing it. 4 times maybe. But there's been other times where I've used what was it? Hold on. Let me show you what type of paper. Oops. I haven't really used this much either because I don't know, I'm not a big fan of it, but the Lux Archival, this is sanded paper, art paper, and you can get like a whole bunch of layers on it. Extremely durable, allows 30 plus layers of dry art medium, multiple corrections, erase, or I think it says reinsures, reworking without damaging to your paper. So, I mean, you can get a lot of layers on something like this, and this is a sanded paper, but you have to be careful on how much, if you use odorless mineral spirits on this to blend it, you just have to be very careful because it can eat a hole in your artwork. Yeah, I've done that. And I did not, I try to like think, okay, how do I fix this? You know, because I always teach like everybody to learn to fix your art or your mistakes, you know, learn to fix your mistakes. That is what's going to make you better. Your artwork is learning how to fix your mistakes. Well, guess what? If you create a big hole in it, I don't think there's any way you can ever fix that. If anybody ever knows of a way to fix that, I don't know if you can. I just don't think it, and if you do, I don't even think it's going to be like sellable. Like, I don't know if it's going to be like lasting before it like cracks or something, falls out. Like, so be careful with the layers. The more layers you add, the less mineral spirits you want on your brush. Because of that reason. Yeah, that was not fun. And I put a lot of work into that picture too. A lot of work. I was like so unhappy when that happened. I tried everything. I was like, do I just fill that one little spot with color pencil and layer? Man, I tried everything, you guys, and that was a goner. Yeah. So just be careful. But usually on this paper here, I get like 3 or 4 layers, and that's really all I need. I mean, at least maybe 3. If I can go 2 layers and I get it to look the way I want it to, because that's the main thing, is you just layer until it looks good. So maybe I layered once and I like the way it looks after I blended it out, and I don't want to add another layer to it. You don't have to. If you don't want to, it looks good, that's the way you want it, then you don't have to. There's no rules on that. And if you blend it and then you want to add another layer and it looks great, or maybe you want to just wipe it down a little bit with odorless mineral spirits, just a little bit to kind of clean up some rough edges, then you can do that, and then you can leave it. So definitely it is up to you. And that's what's nice about artwork, is it's like you can kind of do what you want to do, and if it looks good, then that's it. That's what you're wanting. I'm going to put in, just like I did with that other one, I'm going to add a little bit of shadow by first starting out with my sepia. Almost forgot. It's usually getting a little bit dark. I wonder if I'm probably going to turn on this light. It may get really bright in here, but I'm having trouble seeing. So let me move my little art cart thingy out of the way. This is not an art cart. It's what I put my computer on at one time. I'm going to plug in a light. I'd electrocute myself. Oh, we're super bright now. I like to do my artwork when it's a little bit darker, but whenever I'm doing real tedious work like this, I need to be able to see. All right. Woohoo, I'm not blind anymore. All right, so we're doing some of this sepia. But everybody's wondering, well, like, wow, you've been painting blind this whole entire time. Just a little bit. See what you do then is add more holes, Bob Ross style, and make happy mistakes. I know. I think I was actually trying, and it was like I was using color pencils and everything and trying to get the hang of it. It was a long time ago. But I don't know. That didn't make me happy. I was trying to do portraits. You see, I'm not very good at portraits. I haven't tried them for a long time, but just not that good at portraits. So I wanted to give it a try, and I figured if I bought that paper, I could just do layer upon layer upon layer until it looks good, right? And then I'll be able to do a portrait. And I did it all right, and I made a big hole in their face. So, not good at portraits. I am not a portrait person, I guess. I haven't tried in a long time, though. Who knows? Have I gotten better to where maybe I could do it? I don't know. Kind of staying away from that dark area just yet. I like to blend all these other areas first. Well, almost about time I get me a new brush. Actually, I think I got another one somewhere. But I use these brushes until they're like gone. Like the bristles are basically gone. And this brush has definitely been through some use. This is about time to get another one. Trying to get right around that edges just to kind of blend those out just a little bit. There we go. Okay. Now we're going to blend out some of this nightshade. Kind of bring it up a little bit. There we go. They almost look like apples to me. That's got a little bit of a point. I didn't really draw that in there that great. I can round that up a little bit more. This should be dry. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to use my lighter orange though. Okay, I'm going to use my darker orange here. Actually, I'm going to go with some of this. I'm going to start throwing in some of this stuff. You hear me? Some of this stuff. Just some of this stuff. We need to use it. What is this one? I don't want that one. I want the burnt ochre. Yeah. Yeah, this one. I'm going to use some of this. Let's go ahead and add another layer of this lighter orange in here. Hopefully it's nice and dry. Okay. I also do like with oranges, sometimes I can see a little bit of that gritty, grainy kind of look to it. But it kind of looks kind of nice in a way because it looks like the texture of the orange. I'm going to go over this just a little bit. Okay, we're going to go with more of the darker orange now. Some of this lighter. Some light spots in it. Okay, I'm going to take some of this, more of this nightshade and stick in there. I will have to blend this out just a little bit. Let me take some of my sepia. I'm going to go around the outside edge of this nightshade. Still kind of working in circles, just a little bit bigger circles. Kind of take that on up. There we go. And we'll put it in another round. Make sure that's got plenty of my nightshade in there. Nightshade is definitely getting harder to... Oh, we got a shine. Deserves a retirement. My poor little brush needs to retire. That's crazy. We got that shine going on. We'll see what happens after we blend again with odorless mineral spirits. Turn on the bright spotlight and then get a shine. What if I do this? That doesn't help. Make sure that I don't have too much odorless mineral spirits on my brush. Because then you might undo what you have done. And you don't want to undo it. Then you have to go back over it again. So we're just trying to smooth out these edges in here. I'm going to come on in and start blending out some of this nightshade. And see how nice that is when you don't have too much of your odorless mineral spirits on there. It doesn't like take it and blend it all away. That looks really nice. Let's see if I can't do something about this reflection. I'll just lift it. Let's see what you guys can see. So we got that orange kind of coming in there. At first you may look at it and think, wow, it's really dark, but it is going to be a little bit dark at first. You know what? I just now noticed my... Oh. Wonder what my reference photo is like backwards. Like the little oranges on the other side and the big oranges are on... You know, I just now noticed that. My reference photo is backwards to what I'm actually doing. That is crazy. I don't know why I didn't notice that before. I don't think I did it. I don't think I edited the photo. Wait. Hmm. No. I have no reason or no idea why my oranges are backwards on the on the actual like video right up there. That is weird. I didn't notice that until I looked up there and I was like, wait just a second. Where's the little orange go? Like, why is it not there? Oops. I don't know how that happened. So if you're looking at the reference photo, like wondering which orange this is, it's the one on the far right on the screen. Okay. We're going to take some of this lighter orange, or like mid-tone orange, stick it in there. I'm not really worried too much about that highlight. I don't really want it too bright. Where's the yellow? I might stick a little bit of yellow in there, but I don't want it really, really yellow. Wrong color. Let me stick some. You may have to come back and add some white in there if you're wanting the highlight toward the end. You can always stick it in there, but okay, where's my burnt? That's terracotta. Where's my burnt umber? Oh, my son's gonna come tromping downstairs. I don't think he realized, or he may have forgotten that it's live stream day today. I'm on live stream. You're live. You are live. My son, he goes, what happened to the live stream? I'm like, you are live on live stream. Welcome to the world. Let's see her. I didn't think to say anything. I mean, I knew what was so. Okay. Yeah. I was like, oh my gosh. You know, I don't think it was that oh, I'm using way too much. It's taking too much of my color pencil away. Aw. Um, I don't think it had too much glare whenever I just had it the other way around. I don't know. I may end up turning it back. Because it's just because I couldn't see. I could use my daylight little lamp thingy over there, but let me see. No, I don't want to go pro that. Let's see. Yeah, because it's a little bit of a nuisance for it to be like that. I don't like looking at it like that. Uh-oh. No. You stay out of here. Yeah. No, that doesn't mean come in. Nope. Okay. the cat tried to get in here, and she loves getting up on top of the table, and she's not supposed to be in here. She's already messed up one painting, and I've gotta fix it. And then she started drinking the paint water. So she is grounded from the art room. Kitty cat. Let's see if I can't. There. Be careful with that one. Okay. Well, now you can see it perfectly. Yeah, it just looks better that way. You know, I could probably do this. There we go. And that way, if I need to see a color, be a little bit better. Yeah, there we go. We'll do that. Because that was just horrible. I couldn't see anything. It's like, oh my gosh. All right. So now that we did these two oranges, we got to go to the next one. What time is it? 18. Really need a... You know what? I just want to, just to make sure that we're going, and I don't want to bore everybody out with just like doing oranges the whole entire time. But if I don't finish these oranges like through here and do all the oranges and the shadowing with it, then I'm going to go ahead, since you guys did see this and you've seen how I did it, I'm going to go ahead and finish up all the actual oranges. And then I'll come back and we'll continue on with the other stuff. That way I'm not boring you guys out with doing a repeat of the same thing over and over, you know, orange, orange, orange. But we will have to come back and do, we got to do a lot of leaves and stems too. We got this little orangey guy right here, which ought to be fun to do. So we're going to go ahead and do this one. We may end up, after we do this one, I'll do 2 layers on it. Might come over here and do this, like the peeled orange, because that would be really fun. So we'll do the peeled orange after I do one more orange, because I got another 1, 2, 5 more oranges to do after this third one. So at least I can do 3. Let me get my sharpener. Get this sharpened. One more pencil. All right. So now let's go for it. Where's my glove? Make sure I don't get any oils up my hands all over the paper. Man, when I was working and drawing my drawing for my Patreon on that tracing paper, my hands were just, I didn't wear any gloves. My whole hands on both sides were just like black. It was, I was like, wow. Where's my dark orange? Right here. Some of these oranges just goes into a deep dark shadow and you cannot see the orange. So that'll be fine because I will still use my my nightshade. I'm thinking the darker color should be nightshade anyway because it's so pretty. It adds just the right touch. Now where I'm putting this darker orange at, I will be going on top of it with the sepia and the nightshade. I don't really need nothing there. Goes really dark. Yeah, The glove is good for protecting the paper and you. Yes. Yes, I agree. I should have thought about it whenever I was working on that tracing paper and drawing on it. So I was erasing and drawing, and kept going back and forth, back and forth. I don't even know. Did I put it down here? I have seen how horrible it was. But I was completely covered with graphite, like all over me. I was like, the stems are just too thick. So I had to go back in and redraw every stem. And then I was like, I don't like the way the stems look. Maybe I can put like these little grass out of the little pitcher that I have in there, or a little pot. And that didn't come to mind looking like it would look that great. So then I started redrawing things and re-looking at different reference photos until I finally found out what I wanted to do, and then drew it back in. I think really that was the hardest part. Now I do want to put a caterpillar in that painting. It's a really cute caterpillar too. I don't want to say caterpillar. Having trouble saying it for some reason. Speech has gone bad. This is some of my brighter orange in here. Oh, I guess Whiskey wants to come in. Yeah, baby boy. Come on in. Cold out there. The moment I say that, the heat turns on. I mean, the heater, I got a little space heater in here. And in the living room, we got the little fireplace. So my daughter's been warm. But I keep it like a sauna in here. It's probably, just imagine what my husband's saying, like, turn it off. Stop wasting so much electricity. Like, tell summer to get here. It's cold. Can't really see where I drew that. I guess it's like right in here. And green will go on top of the orange, so I'm not really too worried about it. It will definitely go on top very easily too. I'm just gotta make sure I'm doing this correctly. I'm seeing it correctly. I'm gonna go over the top of it with some of my orange here. Add in some of that lighter orange. And then put that mid-tone over the top of it and makes it a little bit lighter. Where's my white? Oops. Didn't mean to go over the top of that. So I went on top of my little green leaf. Sure. Little Whiskey looks like he's gonna be going taking a little night night. Good boy. Good boy. With your little moo moo. You got your little moo moo cow? Huh? Alright, so usually I use this here to erase anything like color pencil. It's really nice. It's a Faber-Castell Perfection Eraser. I can actually sharpen it, which makes it nice to get into some smaller areas if needed, which I needed it. And you can just erase some of the area that you accidentally got into, and it's gone. Yeah. So I do like using that one. We needed probably another layer in there before I'll blend with the odorless mineral spirits. So I'll just put a little bit more in. Put in some of this lighter color in on top. I used my sepia, but I want that to be a little bit of a shadow. Brighten this up just a tad. Okay. And add some. Let's be a little bit orangey. Okay, let's go ahead and blend this out with odorless mineral spirits. Let it dry, and then we'll add another layer to it, and then that orange should be good. If any of these oranges look like they might need another layer, you could always go back over it, like I said. Let me get some of these lighter areas. Jeez, train. Loud and clear. I hear you toot tooting. It's really funny because even if you talk to our neighbors, like which you know they lived here way longer than I have, but even they get aggravated with the train. Like, dang it, trying to talk, can't even say what I'm even saying because the horn keeps honking, and we both just stand there and look at each other. All right, one word, honk. So while we're waiting for this one, this layer here, or this orange to dry before we put on another layer, we are going to be working on this other orange down here that has been peeled. And quite honestly, I could just use the colors, besides one other color I want to add to it. We can use the same colors that we already got out. Looks pretty good. I need to put more odorless mineral spirits in here. I'm like almost out. I knew I needed to refill something. I just didn't even think about it until now. All right, so I want to add another color to it. I want to add more of like a wheat color, or The Derwent Light Vest, I think it's wheat. I think. Or am I thinking Derwent Drawing? Let me go ahead and look and see if we don't have like more of a cream color. There's some creams, but I don't think it's the creams that I want. Brown, ochre, 10%. No. Well, what a cream. Primrose, Naples. I don't want any of that. Brown ochre? Maybe. I don't know. I want more of a cream kind of color. So that might work. This can you really, baby? That's a light flesh. I don't think I want that one. Puppy primrose might. I don't know. Naples or not Naples ochre. Champagne. I thought I had a wheat in the door one. Yeah, here's wheat. All right, I think I'm good. Oh my goodness. I hope I'm not too close to your ear. He's laying like right behind me, my puppy dog. All right, let me go ahead and do a little color sheet here because I want to make sure that I get the right colors that I'm thinking. We're going to be working on that peeled orange. Just throw it on top of the oranges. All right. And the Carandash, which ones did I pull out of the Carandash? These three, and then one Derwent. Okay. So we want to do 242, 821, and 832. Okay. So 242. This one here is the, because sometimes the colors might change a little bit because of the paper. Is that primrose? Yeah, I think so. Naples ochre. Brown ochre 10%. So next one. Not really hitting the color that I'm wanting. Let me see the wheat. This is Derwent Light Vest. We're going to put a new one over here. Derwent Light Vest. There is no number on this one, so we'll just call it what it is. Wheat. Still too light. It's not what I'm wanting. So we're going to have to use the wheat can be used for the top. The wheat can still be used, and then 821. What's 821? Naples ochre. This one here, let me get rid of these two. Stick them over there. I may want to add a little bit of our French gray, possibly on top of our Naples. My goodness gracious, can't talk. Naples ochre. How is a Naples? Naples ochre? Naple. I'm not able to talk now. This is horrible. Okay. So I want to take this, and this is what I'm thinking. Like underneath the orange, you're going to have those little white little squiggles, you know, that's in an orange. And they are in a shadow. So I'm going to take this Naples ochre. And we're just going to lightly shade it, maybe with some of the gray. And just see how that looks. And that'll probably work out just fine. just by doing that. So that's what we're going to do to create the shadow of those little strands underneath using our French gray. As far as the orange go, it's going to be a really light orange. So most likely it's going to be the lightest orange we have. We could actually go lighter. We probably need to go lighter. Let's see if I don't have, I thought I had something like a peach or an apricot, maybe a really light. I don't know why my dog is laying at this angle. Maybe this color. I think it's apricot. Yeah, it's apricot. Let me see what apricot is. He's laying in such a weird way. Oh, makes me feel like I'm gonna run over his little floppy ear and it'll make me just cry. 041. This is the apricot. Yes, that's what we want. And if we need to, we can always add and throw in some yellow. Let me try it. Let's do it down here. Apricot with a little bit of yellow, which will be fine. And then for the darker oranges, we'll use 030, which is the lighter of the orange. All right, so we got it down, what colors we're going to use. Wheat's going away. It's going somewhere else, not with me. And we're going to have to sharpen our apricot. I think it's called apricot, or is it apricot? Apricot. Why did I say apricot? That doesn't even sound right to me. You should see everybody tries to help me with my pronunciations. Like, it still don't work. Believe me. There's things that I've been saying since I was a kid and I still can't say them right, even if everybody keeps on telling me over and over again. I think the only thing that I was able to change was me saying, and I think, I don't know if I get it right. Watch me get it wrong. Pumpkin. I think I said it right. It used to say it pumpkin or something like that. And everybody said, no, it's, or did I say pumpkin or pumpkin? I said it wrong, and I don't know if I'm still saying it wrong. Like, that's how bad it is. Like, and you can spell it out. You can put anything in the world to try and tell me to help me. And the thing is that I'll get it and I'll say what, say it the way you tell me to say it. But then, ask me 5 minutes from now, I'm going to probably pronounce it the wrong way again. It just doesn't click with my words here. Pumpkin was a hard one. May still be hard. I don't know. No one's ever pointed out that I said it wrong again, so they either that or they gave up on me. So that could be it. There's another one that I always say is wrong, and everybody makes fun of me all the time. I have to think about it, and then I'm like, take a guess, and then I say it, and then everybody wrong. And then sometimes I'm like, I say it right, and then everybody says, oh, you said it right. What are you talking about? You couldn't say that? No, but I feel pretty proud of myself that I got it right. And it's like a food restaurant. It's a seafood place, and I always get it backwards. I never get it right. And every time I say it, the reason why I know I don't get it right is when everybody starts laughing at me. Like, they think it's the most funniest thing in the world. And I'm like, it's not that funny. Stop laughing at me. Okay, let's go ahead and get some of this done. This is the orange. Yeah, we got a few minutes. We're just going to go ahead and start from any which way And I'm going to start putting in white until it gets about right to there. We do have a little bit of a transition in color. We'll use white for right now. We could switch off on the ends. Go back into the white. I'm following close to the reference photo, but it is absolutely not exactly to the reference photo. Just to let you guys know, it is not exactly to the reference photo. Close is all we need, just to kind of get some little squiggles in there. This looks more like the orange. And this looks like we're going to go up. Maybe add some white in there. And with this, we just definitely have a little bit more of a some white being stirred in there. May have to add just a little bit of this cream. Just kind of add a little bit. Okay, so there's our first one. We'll do right in here. It's a nice, thick line. This is probably going to have to be shadowed just a little bit with that that darker gray on those. But as far as the ones in the middle here, I would definitely he is snoring. He is out like a light. He must have played hard. Uh-oh, he's having a dream. So he's barking in his dream like little yelps. I wonder if I can show you guys. I was kind of wishing that I had a place to put the little camera. That way you can see him, but he doesn't always stay there all the time. And for some reason, he just got super tired and came in here. He usually sleeps in here too because he knows I work on my artwork a lot. So he's used to coming in here and going to sleep. time is it? Okay. Maybe we won't go into too much detail with this one here. We'll work on this one, these here, and leave this outside one because I don't think I can get done with the whole thing. Well, let's go here. Where's my apricot? Lost my apricot. Here it is. Okay. So we're gonna kind of fill in some of this with the apricot. It's a little bit lighter, so we want to take some of the yellow, maybe just kind of throw in just a little bit of yellow in there. Okay. Come through. We are going to have to make some of it a little bit darker. Maybe some of it a little bit brighter. But apricot is a really nice base color to work with. Go ahead and get a little bit of yellow tossed in here. Just a little bit. Where's my light orange? I'm going to toss a little bit in here also. I'm going to start kind of going in the same direction as these little lines. Okay, and then I want to add some little bit of a darker kind of color in there. Maybe just a little bit. Now I need more of the lighter kind of colors, like the yellow. A little bit in there. I'm just kind of tossing it in there. Let's take some more apricot. You sound like a cow. He goes, "Mrr, mrr." Adding some white. Just kind of streaming it through there just to add some highlight to it. It's not really a highlight. I guess it's just like making it a little bit lighter in those areas. Okay. Now, right in here, it's going to be a little bit darker with this one. Just right around this edge. Then it's going to get a little bit lighter. Do we have a darker? Let's see here. Could shadow it. I don't know. Let's see here. Let's take my burnt ochre and just kind of darken it just a little bit right around there. That looks a little bit better. Okay. Let's do the same thing. I don't want to put the burnt I think it's burnt ochre. I don't want to put that down first because I don't want it to get that dark. Like, I don't want to go too dark with it. So I want to color down first, like an orangey color down first. before you add the darker color. That way it's not as dark. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and blend those two out. I know we're cutting close on time here, and I definitely wanted to get this one here going. I'm dabbing that off pretty good because I don't want too much on here. Now I'm just barely kind of blending this out just a little bit. I don't really want to take away any of my lines, but I definitely want to get rid of some of the gritty grainy and make it a little bit smoother. Yeah, just blend that just a little bit. Same thing goes for there, and same thing goes for this. Okay. Now I should be able to, once it dries, be able to go on top of that with a second layer. It'll get rid of a lot of that gritty, grainy kind of look. There is just a little bit that I left in there, but it ain't too bad. It's still blended out. It's just not blended out a whole bunch. Let's go back. I'm going to still work on this just a little bit more. I definitely don't want white. Where is my colors? Did I lose my color? Probably. Where's my cream color? I think it's right here. Naples. Okay, okay, yeah. And then I'm going to add a little bit of this. Just kind of make it go around. If there's any marks, you can always put them in there. Just anything you want, really. And then I would take that. Where's my French gray, the light one? You just go in there and just kind of put just a light hand, just a little bit of a shadow over the top of this. That makes it kind of shadowed. Let's go ahead and put in our apricot in here. Now this one here is going to be a little bit darker. It is definitely shadowed. So what I would do is just take your French gray and just go on top of it. You can go on top again with more of your apricot. Then I would go on top of it again, add another layer of your shadow. I'm going to do the same thing to this one here. Okay. So now that's been shadowed out. Where's our darker color? Gotta let that dry just a little bit more. I'm really hoping we get to a point where we can actually add our second layer to this other one. That one didn't have any of that stuff in it. Any of that rind part in it. Oh, it must be a salt truck. Oh, I hope it's snowing outside. I know everybody's probably getting sick and tired of winter, and I'm like, oh, I want to go out in the snow. We didn't get a whole bunch of snow this year, so we only got snow one time with a whole bunch of snow, and my puppy dog absolutely had so much fun. Really, Whiskey? He just goes, mm. I mean, that was identical. That's exactly what he did. Obviously, I'm the only one who had fun in it. He's like, stop it. Why are you speaking for me? I never said that I had fun. Well, it looked like he had fun. To me, it did. Oh, I was totally not even looking at the right orange. Okay. That's whenever you know you need your break. That's whenever you don't even look at the right orange when you're doing your stuff. Oh no. Oh, I'll just be quiet. The cat just came in. But she likes to sleep with the puppy. Even though they pick on each other and it sounds like they're killing each other, they will cuddle and sleep together. As long as she doesn't try and pester poor Pebbles back there. I heard my daughter, her little voice, she's coming in. It was so cute. I'm like, who's coming in? Oh my gosh. Who is? Okay. And then, let's see here. I almost think we can start adding another layer to it. I didn't put a whole lot of color pencil in there. So we may end up okay. We may end up going ahead and we can try putting another layer in here. So let's go ahead and do that. Where is my Derwent? So I'm just adding in my white. And we're just going to put in a little bit of highlight in here and there, where these lines may go. As long as you get them close, I wouldn't worry too much with it. So it looks pretty good on that. Now we're going to go through with some more of our apricot. We're going to toss it in there. And then we'll take and add some, we can add some more darker shadows in there if we wanted to here and there. Maybe make ours just a little bit more darker. We don't have to do exactly like the reference photo. You can throw in the colors to make it look good and the way you would like it to look. This is that dark, that ochre color. I put yellow in there. Now I'm going to go back to my apricot. Okay. I mean, we can even toss and a little bit of white in there, make it more, a little bit lighter. There we go. So that looks pretty good. And then we could do the same. We haven't really blended those out yet. We can do that. Let's go ahead and blend out this side. Well, actually, we're already a few minutes over, aren't we? Well, darn it. But yeah, if you wanted to, you can always blend out a little bit more. And add another layer if you're wanting to. But if you don't and you want to keep it that way, there's no nothing stopping you. Basically, you do it how you want to do it, how many layers you want to do until it looks good. If it doesn't look good and you're still not happy with it, then add a little bit of odorless mineral spirits and then try it again, like go over it again. Douglas, oh, thank you for joining, Doug. Looking dope. Awesome. Yeah, have you done color pencil over marker? No, I haven't. The only reason why I haven't, depending on what your markers are your markers like, are you talking about like alcoholic markers? Or are you talking about like ink or water-based ink markers, like the pens, like those brush pens that I got? I haven't tried it with those. If you're thinking about alcohol markers, I haven't really tried those because the only reason why is because I like to try and sell my artwork whenever I get done. So alcohol markers are usually not light fast. And that's the reason why I don't use my color pencils over them, is because I'd like to sell them. But if you're wanting to do that, it shouldn't be no problem, I wouldn't think, except for the light fast reasons, that if you wanted to keep it and hang it up on your wall, alcohol markers will fade with light with time a lot quicker than the color pencils. So your alcohol marker will not show up as good as your color pencils in time. Now, the inks, which are water-based inks that are light fast, I don't think there would be really any reason why I couldn't, unless it leaves more of a, I wouldn't think they're more water-based. So yeah, I mean, I don't see no problem in it, because if you were to try and use your pens, your water-based pens, like even those pet artist pens, if you were to use them on top of your color pencils, it wouldn't really work out, because water-based over oil just won't work. But if you used your color pencils over the top of those, I don't think there would be any reason for it. And if they're light fast, they'll last as long as your pencils, hopefully. But yeah, but that's the only reason why with alcohol based that I wouldn't, the only reason why I haven't done that. So yeah, that's a very good question. You got me thinking of like different mixed media pieces, which I absolutely love doing the mixed media pieces. They're pretty cool. So, all right. So I guess since our time is pretty much up, it's kind of sad. I will end up keeping the green leaves. Oh, you're welcome. I will end up keeping the green leaves for us to do next week on next Tuesday. The oranges, since we did do those already, I'm going to continue on and do the same thing with the same colors. I'm just going to do all, I think, 5 of them. And then we'll have just basically these 2 to do, which I can do a little bit more of that. We didn't work a whole lot with it. So we'll do the peeled orange. We'll work on that a little bit more next week, along with doing all the leaves next week. So that is what we got to do. So I guess that ends it. And if anybody has any more questions, then I will answer them. And I'll definitely be reading the comments after this live stream. So if you catch me at a later time and the live is not going, don't worry about it. Leave a comment, leave a question, and I will definitely answer it. Sounds like a plan. Awesome. All right. Let's see what Whiskey's doing one last time. Oh, guess I need to go to his camera. So I guess this ends the live stream, and bye. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you, Ligger. I have trouble saying your name. So until next time, you guys. Actually, I have trouble saying everything. I can't even say whatever it is I was saying. I guess I needed my break. So until next time, you guys. Bye.